Hello, everyone, and welcome in. This is Aaron St. Denis at FFMadScientist on Twitter. That is Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05, and welcome to the Fantasy Football Universe. All right, we are going to continue on. Today is the 2024 rookie sneak peek of TCU running back Emani Bailey. Emani, I think it's Emani. I don't know. I'm not a TCU fan, but we are getting deep in here. We are about 10 running backs deep, which is funny because I think we've done 10 of them in the last 12 days. They just came in one big cluster. But Bailey, a former tight end from TCU. I can't spell, don't mind me. Or I can't edit, don't mind me. It should say a former tight end. This one is written by me over on the fantasyfootballuniverse.com if you want to check it out. He is from Denton, Texas, and was a 3-star recruit out of Ryan High School. Began his collegiate career at Louisiana as a tight end in the Sun Belt Conference. In 2020, as a freshman, he appeared in 5 games during that limited playing time, rushed only 60 yards, and didn't find his way into the end zone, as I said. Converted tight end to running back. That's why he got limited carries, limited usage overall. Looks like he signed with them or committed to them to be a tight end. Didn't really work out, so they switched him positions. In 2021, as a junior, he appeared in 11 games for Louisiana, and his stats saw an uptick as a result. 642 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, with 15 catches and 153 yards receiving. Transferred to TCU for his 2022 junior season, where he played in 14 games, but he was buried behind Kendre Miller and did very little. He had 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns. I love it. Touchdowns. While also contributing 7 receptions for 43 receiving yards. Closed out his I can't say collegiate career back-to-back as words. I don't know why. I closed it out at TCU as a senior in 2023, where he appeared in 12 games. Racked up a whopping 1,209 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, while adding in 25 receptions, 184 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Easily the best year of his collegiate career. He was kind of a mixed bag for me. What were your initial thoughts from Emani Bailey?
So if people are wondering why he was a tight end at Louisiana, it's because they had Elijah Mitchell back in his freshman year. So if you have Elijah Mitchell, the 49ers running back, and you're a freshman, you're not playing over him. And then the same issue here with Kendre Miller in front of him.
Yeah, that'll do it.
New program. Like, those are 2 NFL running backs. Like, it's tough. He's explosive and he's quick. He's a lot of fun to watch his tape. You see his highlights and you're like, man, this guy can move. It's a little different than we just covered Ray Davis. This guy actually has NFL explosive ability, and you see it, and it's going to translate to the field. He's a little bit smaller. He's still like 210 almost. He's 5'9", but he's kind of a tank similar. He's just a fun back to watch. He can do a lot of different things for you. It's just, he's a work in progress. Overall, I like some of the upside he has, but I do have some question marks about how good he will be at the next level.
Yes, you are correct. 1 sec. Let me scroll back up here to his metrics. 5'7", second percentile, 207 pounds, 32nd percentile. He's a junior at 20.5, so size is an issue for him. Do you think he can be anything with that limited size? 5'7", 205, like that's, so he's smaller than me. That's not a good size.
I'm not too worried about like the size. I'd be more worried if he was small and he didn't have the weight. But the fact he's as fast as he is at his weight, like that shows promise to me, because you're carrying your weight well and you could move. So you're still 207. Like we see backs nowadays in the 190s who are capable and fantasy viable running backs. So I'm honestly not too worried about it today's NFL. If this was 5 or 10 years ago, I'd have more concerns for him.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. Like, this seems to be a very common theme with this particular draft class. They're tiny. Well, there's a few big guys, but there's a lot of them that are bowling ball shaped. Like, they're just little dudes who just bowl through everyone. It's quite an interesting draft class. I'm trying to update something here that's annoying the shit out of me. Sorry. That touch Dwan thing was.
Oh yeah. They're not the Audric STM out of Notre Dame. That guy's a monster. Like he's a big running back. Most of these guys are not that size.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right, sorry, I updated it. It's no longer a touched one. Thank you very much. As you can
Yeah,
see,
baby.
2 years in the Sun Belt, limited production. Not a bad year there, I guess, before transferring to the bigger school, TCU, where he was buried behind Kendra Miller. Let's get into the scouting report. His strengths: possesses excellent patience and is great at following his blockers. He has great vision and ability to find openings, especially when the outside opportunities are present. He has a special cutback move and a juke move that allow him to be very slippery and elusive. That stood out to me for kind of a bowling ball type, big size, short guy. Shows great straight line speed and is tough to track down from behind. Did you notice anything that really stood out as a strength for you?
Yeah, it's the speed and quickness. Like the acceleration at his size is nice, and it's the speed because he can go stop start and he'll still get an edge on a defender if they have it. It's like that's the type of speed we're talking about. So he's gonna be one of the faster running backs in whatever running back room he goes to. So that always plays no matter what. It's just if you compare that with other things, but overall, it's the speed that jumps out at you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was the speed. He like I said though, the cutback and the jukes, he was very slippery.
Mhm.
It was a lot more than I really expected out of him. The vision, it was just he seemed like he was all around pretty good. It's just, can he overcome the 5'7" is the issue. But weaknesses, as we see, is not big enough to be a between the tackles runner. And if they try to do it, I doubt he's going to last long. He's going to break down. He's patient with his patience will be a positive and can be, but I'm struggling with this one. Sometimes I tongue tie myself, but his patience, while a positive, can be too extreme and cause him to be hesitant behind the line of scrimmage. He often looks for the big plays to the outside, even when the easy yards up the middle are right in front of him. Has limited route tree and is far below average as a pass catcher with limited receiving chops. What really stood out to you there?
That's it. He trusts his speed almost too much, where he thinks he can get an edge no matter what. And sometimes, like, dude, just take the 5 yards. Like that's a good play because sometimes if you don't, you try to bounce it out, you're gonna get a negative 4 yard play. So it's him trying to consistently go for the big play all of the time, and that in the NFL level that gets you benched so quick because coaches
Yeah,
can't do that. They don't go with it. So
yeah.
he needs to rein that in, and if he's able to rein that in, I think he could be a successful NFL back.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where I noticed it was a 3rd and 2 situation and he's bouncing it outside trying to go 50 yards on 3rd and 2. And it's like, just pick up the 2 yards in front of you so you don't have to punt. So you're right. They're going to have to coach that out of him and teach him to just take what's blocked in front of him. I have him as a late day 3 guy. I think he gets drafted. If you told me he went undrafted, I would not be surprised. I have him going to Vegas. I don't know what the status is of Josh Jacobs, if they franchise tag him again, if they come to a long-term deal, if he goes to free agency. So if Josh Jacobs is gone, I think there's no guarantee that Zamir White just gets handed this job. So he could compete with White for the job, or even if Jacobs does manage to come back in some capacity, you can never really have too much depth at running back. So for a late day 3 pick, I don't mind Vegas. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like any place like that where there's an open running back room where it's just uncertainty in an offense. It's realistically like Zamir White just has not been very good. Like I get it, he's played a little bit, but he's behind Josh Jacobs, so we don't know much about him. If he can go to a room where he's fighting for a spot and he can prove himself, then yeah, I'm all for it. It's just more than likely with these day 3 guys, they tend to get buried unless they show out early. So he's gonna have to earn his stripes to the NFL. It's not gonna be given to him. So he's gonna have to make impressions with whatever coaching staff he goes to. I like Raiders, like that could fit very well for him.
Absolutely. Yep. You're right, though. Yeah, I like that situation a lot more if Josh Jacobs they move on
Yeah.
from in some way, because then he's going to get to fight for the job in training camp. And you're right. These day 3 guys, they either have to win the job in some capacity in training camp, or they need to pray for an injury during the season. And then you'll see Kyron Williams get his chance, stuff like that. They never
100%.
just slowly take over the job. It's either they either are a full hit or a total useless bust. What is it, Trey Sermon? Or was he
Yeah.
day 2? Might have been round 3. Anyways,
I think he was round 3, yeah.
that just illustrates the point how volatile it is. That concludes the 2024 rookie sneak peek for TCU running back Emani Bailey. For the full breakdown written by me, head over to fantasyfootballuniverse.com or check back tomorrow for the next player in our series. For Aaron and Jesse, thank you for tuning in. Take care and have a great day.